Parents, I want to introduce you to a word that you might have heard thrown around a little bit, but you probably don't understand because it seems big and it seems scary. And that is this word, dysautonomia. Dysautonomia is a condition that's getting a little bit more of a conversation, but it really isn't well defined. It isn't really well understood. I'm going to simplify it for you, and I'm going to show you how much it could be affecting and how it really might be the missing link for what's going on with your kid. So dysautonomia, what could that show up as? Well, it's going to affect the immune system. It's going to affect the gut. It's going to affect motor and muscular tone. So it can affect pretty much everything. And that is where some of the misunderstanding is coming from, because conditions or struggles that medically don't really make sense are getting labeled dysautonomia. And while that's really close and really helpful, the piece that's missing is understanding why that's taking place and then what we can do to address that. Because more often than not, it's given that label, it's given that diagnosis, and then that's all you got. It's kind of like, well, you know what? Sorry, dysautonomia, don't really know what to do, but it explains what's going on. Dysautonomia, at its root, is just a disorganized, a dysregulated autonomic nervous system. Now, just think of that as all your automatic functions. Some of the stuff I just mentioned, GI system, digestion, immune system, all of that takes place behind the scenes without you consciously thinking about it. There's these two modes to your autonomic nervous system, what you hear us talk about if you're used to our videos here at Thrive as the gas pedal and the brake pedal. The gas pedal is what you might have heard of as well as the sympathetic nervous system. That is your fight or flight. That is really good for survival mode situations. If you're running from a bear in the woods, you want that gas pedal, that sympathetic nervous system turned on and turned on hard because you got to get out of there or you got to fight that thing. Now, gas pedal is great for those situations, but that's not normal life. Hopefully not. That's not what you're doing every single day. But when we're stuck in that, when we're living in stress, when we're living in that gas pedal mode, the other side, the brake pedal, that kind of gets turned off. And our brake pedal is all our wellness stuff. That's the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's our immune system, our digestion, our rest and our recovery, our relaxation, and our growth and our development. So especially important for kids, right? Because they're changing and growing and developing so quickly. If we're stuck in stress, our brake pedal gets turned off. And that really is what dysautonomia is. It's dysregulation here. When that takes place is when all of those other symptoms show up. Because if we're chronically in stress, if we're chronically in that gas pedal mode, well, now all of our gut and digestion, which sure, for the 30 seconds or the 3 minutes that you have to run away from the bear, don't matter. That does matter if it's over 3 months or 3 years or 30 years that you're dealing with that, right? We can live without digesting lunch for a couple minutes as your body puts resources, pushes blood and energy towards the periphery, towards your muscles, towards fighting that threat. That's fine temporarily, but when it gets stuck is the problem. And that's the message here. The gas pedal, the stress mode, the sympathetic nervous system isn't bad. The problem is it can't get stuck on. And that's what we are seeing with more and more kids. That's what we evaluate every single day at Thrive. A part of our scanning technology and system is measuring, are you stuck in a dysautonomic or stressed out state? When we see that, that's showing that one, we've got a lot going on that's probably been there for a while, and it's affecting a wide ranging amount of symptoms. And not just the ones you're noticing, right? Because even if you don't have any problems, so to speak, that are showing up at the surface level, there very well could be stuff going on behind the scenes because you don't really feel it right away if your gut's off, if you're taking a little bit longer to kick the sick or your immune system regulation is out of balance and we have way more allergies or autoimmune challenges instead of a really strong, robust, fast-acting immune system. You don't notice it right away, but little by little, over years, we end up in this just chronic state of dysfunction and not health. So what we need to do is stop focusing on just the symptom part, right? Stop focusing on what do we do to just manage or hide or mask the symptoms, and let's start asking this why question. How do we get to the bottom of that dysautonomic or dysregulated stress system? Sure, I want you to work at those three things, your physical, chemical, emotional health, traumas, toxins, and thoughts as we talk about with chiropractic. Limit that stress, but what we want to do is pump the brakes, make sure that key brake pedal nerve up top is turned on so that you don't have such an uphill battle, so that internally your body isn't hardwired for stress and all the other stuff that you're doing can be way more effective. This might, just barely scratch the surface. So if you got questions, if you got comments, please share them here. Send us a message, reach out. I'd love to chat more. I'd love to help you and see what we can do to maybe help you, help your kid be at their best and make sure they're not living in this stuck dysautonomic state.